Everything's Randi at RandiRhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
All right, I'm going to play this again. This is amazing because what is being discussed here is espionage. What is being discussed here is compromised members of the Congress of the United States of America, not just Devin Nunes in the House, who doesn't serve anymore, but Ron Johnson in the Senate, who does serve. Hey, Wisconsin, pay attention. You know the amount of Russian interference and disinformation and the willingness of some of the Republican members of the United States Congress to receive and disseminate Russian talking points is really off the charts. Now, a lot of us suspected that there was something really, let's say, unkosher about Ron Johnson and about, some of the members of the House of Representatives who are always making the case that Russia wants made in the United States about Donald Trump being a better president than Joe Biden, about Joe Biden being the corrupt one, about Joe Biden and his family being grifters, about Joe Biden and his son being the recipients of largesse in the world from foreign governments, when you clearly know it's right in front of your face that Jared got $2 billion from the Saudis and that Donald Trump excused murder by virtue of a bone saw in order to, create the environment where Jared could get $2 billion from the Saudis to be put into a private equity fund, something Jared has never, ever run or done or has any experience with at all. He's an inheritor. He's another, Nepo baby who inherited great wealth from his real estate daddy who went to prison. Anyway. This was an amazing piece of testimony. Max Frost, elicited this from Lev Parnas. And then, wait, after this, I have to show you who the next witness was. You won't even believe it. You just won't even believe it.
Authors of the Republican Burisma report would be your, quote, guy in the Senate to push all the information, end quote. What did you mean by that?
Senator Ron Johnson was our guy in the Senate. He was told to me that when we push the information, he's going to push it in the halls of Congress.
So when the media was getting skeptical about pushing disinformation after they've proven it wrong time and time again, the plan was to have a U.S. Senator, Ron Johnson, to push that disinformation even further.
Correct, because we had Congressman Nunes already doing it, so Senator Ron Johnson jumped on board.
This Congress, both Chairman Comer and Chairman Jordan, have centered this entire sham impeachment hearing on an FBI tip sheet. This tip sheet made wild claims about bribery that didn't even come close to being backed up. And in fact, it's all being proved to be one big lie. Mr. Parnas, is the allegation in the FBI tip sheet based on the same fabricated claims that Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani flew you to Ukraine to dig up?
Yes.
I also want to make it clear that the informant allegedly behind this tip sheet is facing criminal charges for lying about the Biden family and was a known fraud for years before that. The same fabricated claim kept popping up and getting smacked down over and over again. In fact, our colleagues at the Foreign Affairs Committee did some amazing work on this investigation and found that this lie dates back to December 2015, almost 10 years ago.
Oh my
Do you
God.
happen to know the article that I'm referring to?
I don't know the exact article, but I do know that the slide has started way back in 2015.
Started about 10 years ago. It was an article entitled, quote, "The Ukrainian Scam of the Biden Family," end quote. And it was posted to a Russian language media website registered in a city in Russian-occupied Crimea. Mr. Parnas, do you have any doubt that this fabrication claim, the claim that Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani sent you to Ukraine to try to dig up more information on, is part of Russian propaganda and an effort to destabilize Ukraine and undermine our democracy?
As I said here today, I have zero doubt that Russia's involved. This is a Russian campaign to interfere in our elections.
We waited 10 years for information like that under oath to be given to, and names to be named. Okay. So, Jim Jordan, James Comer, all these people, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Senator Ron Johnson, the Devin Nunes and Devin Nunes's gal. They're all part of a disinformation, malign activities effort on the part of the Russian government, Vladimir Putin, to interfere in our elections. Why? Because he wants Europe. He wants to rebuild the Russian Empire. Donald Trump made a very big thing about saying that NATO was bullcrap, and that if Putin wanted to invade a NATO country, like you remember Estonia? You remember that little, or Montenegro? Do you remember Montenegro? Montenegro is a little tiny country about the size of Connecticut. It's beautiful, but it's a little teeny tiny country the size of Connecticut. And you remember when Donald Trump went to the NATO meeting, and the leader of Montenegro was there, and Donald Trump pushed him out of the way so he could be in the front of a photo op. And we just thought that was ego, and we thought that was narcissism. And no, turned out it was a message. It was a message to Vlad. Got this. I got this. I'm with you. Thank you for helping me win this election. Russia, you were listening. Thank you. A lot of buffers, Senator. He needed to distance himself from the actual information, from the receipt. And so he had buffers. He had Rudy Giuliani, who totally knows how the mob works, because, it's a fine line between, the prosecutor and, it's always like that, isn't it? It's like a really fine line between the cops and the, criminal. Very fine line. Rudy crossed over because Rudy was rejected by voters. This is Rudy's beef. This is why Rudy is Rudy now. Okay, everybody goes, what happened? We have entire specials about the fall of America's mayor. Like, what happened to Rudy? Rudy ran for president, and he got prostate cancer, and he ran against Hillary Clinton, and he got beaten so badly. Okay, he just, nobody wanted him to be the president. Nobody believed in him. Nobody wanted him. Nobody thought he had the skill set. Whatever. He never got over it. He never, ever recovered from that rejection. So he joined in people, in the experience of, retaliating against Hillary Clinton. That is what happened at the New York field office of the FBI back in the day, that sat on Anthony Weiner's computer at the behest of Rudy Giuliani. It's very fascinating. This whole story goes way the F back. But it's repeating itself again. Why? Because it worked. It worked really well last time. They were able to funnel $30 million into the NRA. They were able to, put disinformation all over Facebook. They were able to get polling information from Paul Manafort. What did they need that for? So that they could concentrate their efforts in swing places where it was tight, where it was very tight between Hillary and Donald in 2016. So they needed that polling information. Now they're talking about bringing Manafort back even. I mean, they're showing you everything. They're showing you the whole plot, the whole caper all over again. It's like, Russian interference part 2. And people just won't remember. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.